Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kevin here. So as you can see, I'm not alone. So what I wanted to start bringing to my channel is a series called Cocktails with Kev. And what I want to do is I'll interview somebody related to the channel. So something that have to do with like fitness, health, wellness, anything along that spectrum. And then while we're here, little known fact is that I bartend on the side. So I'll be teaching you guys how to make a drink, what's in it, why I interview my friends. So for today, we have Angie Green. She actually came up with this whole like little segment. So we had to have her first on the channel. So I met Angie.
Oh gosh.
2007. 2007?
No, it's earlier than that.
No, it was 7. It was at UT.
Right.
I graduated high school in 07.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 2007. I remember I graduated high school in 07. I went to Cedar Point this summer, and I went to UT that fall. And actually, it wasn't until like late the first semester, so like into November, December, that I started going to the rec center. I was just dealing with a lot of like mental health issues. My mom passed away when I was 15, and that I kind of like pushed that deep down in my subconscious when I was dealing with that. So being at UT, being on my own and having a ton of free time, it kind of just festered up in my head. So I was seeing a psychiatrist at the time. And one of the issues that I hated the way that I look, I had like super low self-esteem. And I don't know if I told you this, but the school psychiatrist suggested that I go to the gym. She's like, if you hate the way you look, then change it. She's like, that's an easy fix. And so I started going to the gym, and I would do 30 minutes on the elliptical, and it was like, that was a hard 30 minutes. And I was like, if I can get 30 minutes, that was my workout. I'm done. I go back to my dorm room, and I go eat all the bad food. Like it wasn't great. Like like the beginning wasn't amazing at all. And I remember being on the ellipticals, and the ellipticals at the UT University of Toledo Rec Center were right like along the hallway line of the aerobics room. Mm-hmm. And I remember being on the elliptical, and I hear like all this like whoos and yes and like this loud music. And I remember like leaning over like and peering down the hall, like what are they doing? And after like a week of like we call them looky-loos, right? Yeah, after like a week of just listening and figuring out, like trying to see what's going on, like I finally like went into one of the classes. I think you were teaching, and I just looked, and I came in, and I'm in the back of the class. The class was Turbo Kick, and I remember I was like, what is going on?
Sirens are loud.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I didn't make it to the sirens.
Oh.
I was out. I left before the warm up was over. I left. You know the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left before the warm up was over, and I felt so defeated, and like everybody laughed at me, and they saw that big guy in the back who laughed. I don't think anybody saw me at all, but you're in your own head, and we're so like egocentric where we think about us all the time. And so I just felt like everybody in the class was like made fun of me. At the end of class, they was all laughing about it. I don't know. That was the whole story that I built in my mind as I was walking back to the dorm. And then about like a week later, I was like, you know what? Because I went back to the elliptical again. My whole 30-minute elliptical workouts. So after about like a week or two, I like I'm gonna do it. I want to do it. It sounds fun. I'm just gonna do it. So I went, and I stayed the whole class. It definitely wasn't pretty. I don't think it got pretty for a couple months, maybe a year. I don't know. But that was like my introduction to fitness was Angie and Turbo Kick at UT. She was teaching. I remember getting caught out on the mic like in 2008 because it was like a year. It was like a whole year of me just taking classes, I believe. And I believe like the next year, it would have been like the spring of 2009 when I first got certified in Turbo Kick. But Angie was the instructor. She was the
Group exercise
coordinator. I tried to say that something. I couldn't remember. Did you?
Yeah, I loved it.
But yeah, Angie was the group exercise coordinator. So you were in charge of the personal trainers, the group X room, the clinic. Was it called a clinic?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where I met Angie. Since then, were you just starting your own fitness business, or?
Yeah, that was right around that time. Yeah, because it's been 12 years since then. So yeah.
That's a long time.
We're all old.
I'm beautiful. We're beautiful. I'm not old. Fine like wine.
Right.
No, so you were starting your fitness business right around that time. I remember coming over, getting really close, coming over, babysitting.
Yeah.
I was the nanny, yeah.
Nanny.
The nanny. I remember traveling around with her, with her son Brennan. I remember we were in LA for the Idea World Conference, and somebody didn't make it for the hip hop hustle battle.
Yeah.
and I
threw you in.
Yeah, I had
like,
Brennan
how
at
fast
like
can you learn
some
this?
local park by the hotel, and I got a text or a call like, get to the convention center right now. We need you to come on stage with us, or we're disqualified because we don't have enough people, or something like that.
Yeah.
And just going over there, and I remember Brennan ran out on the stage because her son just took out in the middle of the performance onto the stage, started dancing, and it just happened like it is what it is. It was fun.
He was probably like 6 or 7.
I wonder if he remembers that.
I'll ask him. He's 18 now.
But yeah, so you started your own fitness business, super successful. You just created your own fitness format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll get into all that later, but right now we're gonna get into the drink. Well, I know one of Angie's favorite drinks is the dirty martini. Do you still want that one? Because I don't do olive juice at all. So what makes a dirty martini dirty is the olive juice, just FYI. And I don't do olives at all. A martini is pretty much 3 ounces of whatever, if it's gin, whatever your gin preference, if it's vodka, so your vodka preference. And it's just chilled over ice or shaken with ice and then served up. So you're pretty much just drinking a chilled straight 3 ounces of whatever your alcohol content is. If it's dirty, it's with olive juice. Me, I like my food drinks. I like my sugar. I like my mixed drinks. So I'm going to do a lemon drop martini. I'm not going to really teach that one. I'm just going to make that on the side. But we will teach the dirty martini.
Good.
I went and I got blue cheese olives.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, okay. I was making sure it's like that. So when you make your dirty martini, you want to take your shaker tin. You want to fill it with ice. And so right now I'm currently bartending at a local bar in my hometown. But before I was bartending at the Cheesecake Factory in LA. And let me tell you, that place is specific. So like you take your shaker tin. And so at the Cheesecake Factory, and if I have anybody who still works at the Cheesecake Factory watching this video, I don't mean to air your dirty laundry, but y'all are too nitpicky. So each drink gets a different amount of ice. This is the first place where ice is an ingredient. I didn't know that. But yeah, you get, so cheesecake recipe is 12 ounces of ice.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Ice.
It's a lot of ice. So you just want to fill your shaker tin with some ice, a little bit halfway. 12 ounces is going to be like an inch from the top, but we're not going to go all that far. Because we're not that picky.
No. What? This is a shaker tin?
Yep, so this is a shaker
Got
tin. And you will have, there are different styles. Like I have another style that's glass and it has like a rubber cap. I have this one is metal with a metal lid or shaker, and you just put it in and you shake it. Some places will use your actual serving glass as a capper and shake it and then just pour it into the glass and serve it. Different places do different things. There's really no right or wrong place or right or wrong rule. So I have all the alcohol that we need. We have pour spots. So some places, depending on where you work, they'll let you free pour. Free pour means with the pour spot on, you're just pouring by your eye and your counting, and that's it. A lot of corporate places, if you work at a chain restaurant or just a place that wants to keep more control over the alcohol that is being served, they will have you jigger. A jigger is just a measurement tool. It's already pre-measured, so if you pour into it, that's 1 ounce jigger. There's different size jiggers, 1/2 ounce, 1 ounce, 1.5, up to 2 ounces. I don't think I've seen anything more than 2, but I'm sure there's some out there. But so we're doing a vodka martini, and so we have Tito's. Tito's is probably the most popular.
Yeah, that's the one I get.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tito's is the most popular vodka. So you're going to do 3 ounces of your Tito's. And so with all these pour spouts, the flow rate is about 1/4 of an ounce per second. And so we're always counting, if you're talking to a bartender and they're starting to pour and they stop talking, while they're pouring. It's because they're counting in their head. And then once they're done, they continue the conversation like nothing happens. That's what happens. At least I do it. I'm not that skilled yet to where I can talk and count at the same time.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's some art there, but it's just not me. So if we're doing a 3-ounce pour at 1/4 ounce per second, I'm going to count to 4? I normally count, so 1 shot is 1.5 ounces. That's a 6 count. So I'll count to 12. But typically I'll just count to 6 twice. Like you just break it out to smaller increments.
Gotcha.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you do like a J stroke or like a swoop, because when you just go like this, you'll get what's called a kite tail, and then it'll be like a liquor spilling out, fleeing everywhere, all over the place while you're making a drink, and that's alcohol waste. So if you scoop it like a J, like you're making a J, it puts an air bubble in the pipe of the pour spout, and it cuts off the liquor, so you don't have any waste, so it stops. So we're gonna do 3 ounces of this. Now she does like it dirty, so we're gonna add a little bit. You do like vermouth, right?
Yes.
Vermouth. So we are gonna add a little bit of vermouth. So some people like vermouth, some people don't like vermouth. If you're making a martini, I always ask, very light on the vermouth. A little bit goes a long way. We're only gonna do 1/2 ounce. So we're gonna count to 2. So 1, 2. Now, her favorite part is the olive juice. I just bought this from the store today. And you don't have to be super anal with your measurement. You can just pour some in, whatever. It's not big, it's not important.
Yummy.
So, the most important part when you're making a martini is, you know, the James Bond when a martini shaken, not stirred. Actually, I think I kind of prefer them stirred now if you think about it, because I didn't realize this, but when you're shaking a shaker tin, you're breaking down the ice cube so that you're technically watering down the drink.
Oh.
So, I think it's fancy and it's cool. You hear it pop and all that stuff goes into you shaking the martini. But when you're shaking it, you're watering it down. And so you never want to shake it, over-shaken a martini. It's called bruising the martini. You bruised it, it's watered down. Customers might complain that it's not as strong. So you really don't want to shake it. You're just trying to chill the liquid inside. So at the Cheesecake Factory, each drink got a certain amount of ice. Each drink got shaken a certain amount of times. Like, it's crazy. So I'm gonna shake it about 5 or 6 times. Over the shoulder, back and forth is 1. That's it, that's all you need. Pop it, let it drain. You don't wanna waste any of that alcohol. You want that in your drink. Take your strainer, and you ideally pour it into a chilled martini glass. But for sake of purpose of doing this in my living room, we get what you get. And if your pour is right, you shouldn't over pour your standard martini. And then I'm gonna have you take that and a pick, and you can pick as many blue cheese olives, because I would never eat those. You can probably take that home.
Okay.
I don't like olives or blue cheese.
Oh my gosh.
So while she's doing that, I'm gonna run to my kitchen really fast and rinse this off, because when I make my drink, I don't want any of her residue into my drink.
Well, you're missing out.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you're gonna edit this. You make Jim one too? You make a double?
You want a double?
No, he wants a lemon drop.
You want a lemon drop? So we have our Three's Company here. Our friend Jim here, and he's in the background. Say hi, Jim.
Hi.
Come on the camera and say hi. Jim will be in another video in the very, very near future. You hear that? So I'm gonna quickly whip up a martini for us two. Something like, you're getting the same thing I'm getting.
Do I have to wait?
No, you don't have to wait.
Okay.
How is
It's
it?
delightful.
It's delightful.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So now you know how to make your own?
I know, I never knew how to make them, I just drank them.
It's really simple. I think I had another friend ask me about bartending, and it's something she would want to get into. She's nervous about it. She thinks it's a lot of work. Here you go. I'll put it on the second for you. If y'all see a random hand reaching, y'all know who it is. But bartending to me is really not as complicated as it can be. I mean, if you're like in a big city, you're in a trendy town, if you're like at a martini bar and you have to make a ton of martinis, or if you're at a mojito bar and you're making all these different kinds of mojitos, but like when you start, you're typically at like a dive bar or a local restaurant, or any restaurant. I mean, you're at a restaurant or a local bar. Typically one of those big like artsy fartsy trendsetter type bars, it's not gonna hire a brand new bartender. So you don't have to worry about like, ooh, how do I make this espresso martini or this chocolate martini, unless you're at a martini place that specializes in selling martinis. Like I used to serve at the Cheesecake Factory. I used to serve at Bar Louie, and Bar Louie has like a pretty extensive martini list, but that was like their thing. That's like what they're known for. There's beers on draft and their martinis. But typically when you start off, you're just somewhere local and they teach you. Like if you're at a restaurant, they'll teach you how to bartend, but more importantly, they're going to teach you their specific like drinks for their restaurant, their signature drinks, whatever they are. And you just learn those stuff as going on. I try to explain it as driving. Like when you learn how to drive, you're like, oh my God, is my seat in the right spot? Is my mirrors in the right spot? Check your seatbelt. You're doing your signals, checking your blind spots, you're watching for the traffic, and you have all this whole list and you're stressing out when you learn how to drive. But nowadays, like you just get in the car and go.
Right.
Like how many times do you get in your car and you don't even realize how you got home? You're just home.
Right.
Like it's such like an autopilot sort of process. And that's what bartending is. Like you will get to that point where like somebody orders something, you're like, oh, okay, got it. And you're just making it, you're whipping it up. It's just like with anything, any task or any new career or anything that you're learning. Like, of course, when you start off, it's a lot. Of course, when you start off, it's like, whoa, that's a crap ton of information. But eventually you'll get to the point to where it's secondhand and it's not big. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I actually bartended in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it was a small little towny bar, so we didn't make any of this fancy stuff. It was like, which draft beer do you want?
My first bartending job was pretty much a beer bar. Like all days, it was a full bar, like we had everything, but pretty much the only thing that the patrons wanted were drinks or beers. And not even like draft beers, like cans and bottles. So I was like, I just opened bottles. I didn't even shake this. I was just about to pour.
I just made it extra dirty.
It's just dirty. So your lemon drop martini is supposed to come with simple syrup, but I'm out. So is it sweet enough for you, Jim?
Yeah, I like it. It's delicious.
So we talked about how you started your own fitness business. What is it exactly that you do?
I work with a company, as you know, called Beachbody. They're the #1 producers of at-home fitness programs. So in essence, there's two parts to our business. We kind of, and when I say we, my husband and I run this business together. So we kind of serve as virtual personal trainers. So we coach customers who use all of those products and the nutritional programs and the supplements and everything like that. We set them up at home, and then we kind of coach them through their health and fitness journey. And then the other piece of that is we build and mentor a team of fitness coaches and try to help them duplicate the same.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, this is sitting a little too professional to me, so I'm gonna move this pillow.
Comfy.
I'm getting comfortable because I know you for pretty much half my life, and I'm gonna sit back, and I want y'all to get comfortable too.
Okay.
And you should have a drink in your hand. I don't care if it's a bottle of water. This ain't the Oprah show.
Right.
So, and I got my questions right here. So when you started your business, and even now, like not even when you start, like, was it easy?
No.
So what makes you keep doing it?
One of the first things that we talk about when we teach people to build a business is to find their why. That driving force and motivation that's going to help you, even during when you're having challenges or your business, sucks or there's tough times, you're going through personal stuff while you're trying to build a business. And we do it with our clients too, you know, who come to us to want to lose weight and need help. You know, we tell them why. Okay, well, I want to lose weight, or I want to make money. Okay, why? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to make money? And we try to kind of dig deeper with that. And so, you know, I had to do the same thing for myself when I started the business. And even still now, because being in this business for 12 years, I've realized my why changes over time. Because that's normal.
I don't hear that often, but like you say that, and I was like, oh yeah, she's right. Cause
yeah.
my why changed just from yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
and
am I drinking this?
And it will continue to do so over time. And I think that's a good thing, because that will keep you motivated. And I mean, you go through so many life changes, so your why can't be the same over.
Yeah, you're not the same person who you were 12 years ago when you started your business.
Exactly.
You're completely different.
Right.
So
I mean, when I started my business, I mean, you know, because you were there, you've been a huge part of my life and my kids' life. But you know, I was going through a divorce, and I was transitioning to single momhood, and I was like, I don't need no man to make money or build a life. And so my driving force was like for my son. And now fast forward, 10 years later, I got remarried and had a baby. And so, that kind of changed my why a little bit there. So it's always changing.
Yeah, it's always changing.
Yeah.
So my last video was about setbacks. What setbacks have you experienced, professional or personal, whatever you want to talk about, and like how did you overcome it?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, for me, since business is fitness and fitness is my business, obviously that's a huge part of my life. I feel like the two go hand in hand. So gosh, I got remarried 5 years ago, and then we immediately tried to start a family, struggled with infertility, knew it wasn't happening. It was a combination of my husband's challenges and my challenges and my age. So we ended up going through IVF for over 2 years. And I think I kind of lost count, but I think I had 5 different surgeries, like knock you out surgery, 7 different procedures, went through hundreds of injections and medication.
I don't think I realized it was that intense.
It was intense, yeah. But we finally were able to have Maya, who's 2 now. So I have an 18-year-old and a 2-year-old. Crazy I say out loud.
You just started over.
I started over. So, I mean, during that time, that 2-year process was a huge struggle. We went through loss during that time, and, I don't wish that upon anybody. So that impacted me physically, mentally, and also impacted my business. I feel like when you get focused on other things, and then just going through the whole pregnancy experience and having a baby at age 43, that had, impact on me physically. Luckily, I trusted the resources I had, to get me back in shape. But man, your mental blocks will definitely impact you physically and vice versa.
So what made you like power through it? Like why didn't you give up? Why you just say, forget it?
Okay.
Forget it.
No.
I'm just not going to it's not working. We're not going to continue with this. We're not going to have another child, or forget it. I'm focusing on growing in my family, and I just need to throw this business aside. I can't focus on that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I need to focus on my personal life with my husband, starting our family. Like, what was that decision? Like, I just need to power through it, or I need to quitting is not an option.
Right. Well, I think you already said it, 100% community. So my friends, and my business community too, my coaches who I have developed friendships with, lifelong friendships with over time, they were the ones that really helped me, kind of push through. They supported me. I supported them. I found a whole nother separate IVF community and people who were, still in my life. 100% the support. That's big.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that I definitely struggle with COVID is that during quarantine, we all lost our sense of community. Yeah. We were afraid to come around each other. And like humans are social creatures. Like we evolved or developed in communities, and like that's the way that's the way the human mind works, is being connected to others. And so when you take that closeness and that connection away, I think like for me that was like one of the biggest hurdles or like setbacks I had with dealing with like COVID and quarantining. And like you want to go over, you want to go hang out, you want to go out, you want to go out to eat, but like you also want to be safe, want to be mindful. And then like the science has changed so much from day to day. Like first you get it from touching stuff, then you don't, then it's air, and then like so it's like that was like one of the biggest things was just not having that that community.
Yeah.
What are some of your inspirations? Like what do you think of to power through tough times?
Ooh, that's a good one. People for sure, but I am a people person, so that motivates me. So my family, my friends, my team, you know, my supportive community, I think about them and they force me to be accountable, whether it's for my fitness or my business. They drive me to do what I need to do every single day, you know, for sure. But I've also learned, like, I've taken some personal responsibility. Like, this is something I want in my life, so I know if I want to get to this point, I have to do this every single day and be consistent as hell, even when I don't feel like it, you know, if I want to get there.
Absolutely. I was just talking about that. I made a video and the title was why I believe motivation is highly overrated. And in that video, did you?
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think about it? Like,
It was good.
I don't know, because I was like, so many people come to this like, I'm not motivated. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right.
Like, you want it, just like you said, you made a decision, you want to go from here to here.
Yeah.
And you know that in order to get there, you have to do these daily actions.
Right.
And whether you want to do it or not, you do it. So
Yeah.
that totally
I agree with you 100% when I watched that video. I don't really think motivation exists 90% of the time. So you have to have discipline.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay disciplined, you'll start getting results, which may motivate you, but it's really all about discipline.
And my whole thing, like my tagline is fun with fitness. I've been saying that for years. And like to me, if it's not fun and if it's not enjoyable and it's not something that you love doing, you're not going to keep doing it. Like think about even your negative habits. Like think about that dessert that you love because it tastes good to you because you enjoy it. It's a positive experience.
Right.
And that's why you keep doing it or that's why you keep eating it. And it's the same mindset towards anything else. Like you keep doing something because it's pleasurable.
Right.
The human body is made to deepen those pathways of pleasure and to lessen the pathways of pain. So when you're doing something where it's not enjoyable, and I'm acting like I have a neuroscience degree. I do not. I just listen to a lot of podcasts.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Podcasts is where it's at. But like, I just think like the brain develop like you have those pathways, or you have those experiences, or those whatever like, and they're so great that you want to do them again. And you have to find a way to where, if your struggle is fitness and health and wellness, to make it an enjoyable experience.
Right.
So that you want to do it again. Like, I really want to go to a turbo kick class.
Right.
It's not that I want to work out. It's that I really enjoy turbo kick. Like, that's my soulmate workout. That's my jam. Like, I'm so fortunate that I found that earlier in life than later. But, like, when I first moved to California, one of the first things I did was, like, Google gyms and which gym offered a turbo kick class. And I would, like, drive. I drove from Camarillo down to San Diego to take Nolan's class, which is like
over 2 hours.
Yeah, over 2 hours, like just to take a class.
Yeah. Just
to go work out for an hour and to just drive 2 hours back. Partly because I didn't have any friends in California at the time, so I wasn't doing nothing anyway, and so I just hopped in the car and went. And it was nice to see people that I met like at Camp Dumore or that I was seeing the DVDs, but it was just like I really enjoyed doing this event, doing this thing. Whether it's working out, whether it's your career choice, whether it's spending time with your kids or your family or vacationing, whatever you love doing it, if you truly love it, to me, is no longer an obstacle. The obstacle is finding more time to do it.
Right.
It's not trying to. Yeah. It's not trying to force yourself to do it because you know the benefits outweighs the cons.
It has to be a process. Right?
Yeah, it has to be a process.
I don't know. The only thing I can relate it to is shoe shopping. Like you have to shop till you find the right shoe. You have to do the same thing for your workouts and like figure out, you know, meal prep or your nutrition, and that's not a one size fits all. Yeah. You got to figure it out.
I hate shopping.
I love shopping.
I hate shopping. Even for my apartment, this is Angie's first time here, and so I gave her a tour.
It's beautiful.
And she was saying it's beautiful. But I think I was really into decorating this apartment for like maybe 2 weeks, I was super excited. The rest of it was like, oh, I just want to be done. I just wish I had a black card that I can just swipe and like everything just magically appear. Like I just got burnt out. But I see what you're saying. Like if it's something you enjoy, you just do it. Yeah. You would love my sister. You two should go shopping together.
Okay.
Listen,
Let's
I
go.
got two more questions.
Okay.
Where did they go? I just forgot. Okay. What are some of your guilty pleasures?
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, food.
Listen.
Specifically, cereal.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, man. Give me a box of peanut butter Captain Crunch and it's gone. And that's funny because...
Did you know that?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. My top 3 are cereal, Pop-Tarts, and Cheez-Its. And if you bring all of those to me in one sitting, look out.
Jesus, yes, I can see that. But
Yeah, it's bad. And so,
It's bad.
I mean, 2 things I'll say to that. Number 1, I choose not to have cereal in my house. And my whole philosophy is until you have control or feel like you have control over something, don't keep it in your house. Like, I do believe in all things moderation, but cereal isn't something that I can moderate yet. So I don't keep it in my house. If you have the ability to moderate, great. I don't care. Keep all the snacks in your house that you want.
You have that will control?
No, but I
that
can't.
willpower? I'm jealous because I'm the same.
I talk to so many people who are like, well, I have to have snacks because I have kids. No, you don't. You have other healthier options that you can try to teach your kids to have, or you can try to teach yourself moderation. And then the second thing I was going to say about that is Steve and I were at dinner last night and we happened to be talking about that. And so, I said, I'm hoping where I can get to this place where, listen, I know the cereal is at the grocery store and I can go buy it anytime I want it. So when it's in my house, why do I feel like I need to eat the entire box in one sitting?
And it goes so fast.
Right. So, I mean, that's what I'm working towards. I think I would love for our society to all work towards that place where we have a healthy mindset and a relationship with food where we can moderate no problem. But until then, keep it out.
What are some of my guilty? Well,
Yeah.
candy.
Oh, yeah. I was just going
Candy.
to say, I know that.
Candy.
Right.
Candy. When I decided to stop doing 75 hard, I went on a bender. It was like
You did?
It was like a 2-hour bender, but I worked right next to Five Below. And Five Below has all the good candy.
Yeah.
So
They really do.
on my lunch break, I told the kids if they behave, I would go get them candy, but I really was just going for me. But I bought them some too. But I bought so much junk food. Then we had our Valentine's Day party, so all the kids brought in cupcakes and chocolates and candies and stuff. So it's bad. There is one store and there's a candy store in Cleveland. I have it on my phone. I can't remember it, but it's this warehouse. And it's all of this candy, and I guess there's a soda shop or a milkshake shop or something in the middle of it.
Jim's Googling it.
But it's all of these candies. Have you Boys, right?
Yeah.
Think of Boys
I think
times
of you
10.
every time I used to drive past
I
that.
haven't went to Boys yet since I moved back home because I was because I gained so much weight. California was a good chapter of my life, but for as far as my health, it was a bad chapter for my health. And so I remember deciding I want to gain or I want to lose weight. I want to get back on it. And so I drove home. And so I planned to do this week-long trip, making stops and seeing friends along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just live it up and have fun. And then once I get home, that's when I'll get back into fitness. I was I know I got my gym LBs. I said, I know I got Turbo Kick there. I knew the resources I had back in Toledo because I'm from that's where I'm at. And so I was I just got to get back there, but I'm going to enjoy the route back to Toledo. And I just did it up in Dallas. I did about 3 or 4 days in Tennessee and went to Nashville and just had fun. And then when I got to Toledo, the first week of March, the next week was quarantine and everything shut down. So there's another, because of COVID. Right.
I hate that term.
Being stuck at home, and I would still work out, but I think I redid.
You Transform 20.
I did Shanti's Transform 20, but I didn't gain weight, but I didn't lose that much weight. And in my head, I was I know the first one I lost all this weight, but in my head I was or to be quite honest, I'm only really working out 30 minutes a day, and then for the other hours, I'm literally on my bed or on the couch watching TV. Like, I'm not active. It was different when, yes, I did this 30-minute program a day, but then I also went to work where I'm active. I went somewhere else, like I was up and moving. Like, overall, I was in a more active lifestyle, but in quarantine, I just was a couch potato. So it was like, I mean, I did get results from it, but I didn't get the results I wanted.
Right.
And so I didn't go to candy. Like, I was like, so I went to June. I got this apartment, so I was busy like getting this apartment together. It's not done, but it is what it is at this point.
It's beautiful.
And then I went on a family trip and we went down to Tennessee, to the cabins in Tennessee, and I remember like taking a picture there, and it was like, excuse me, that was the biggest I have ever been, like in my whole life. Like, it was bad. And I knew it was, and I was like avoiding taking pictures, but I took a picture. You know, everybody's on family's vacation, you take pictures. And I was like, okay, when I get home, like, I am getting back on it because I've done enough. Like, I love bartending, so like I travel, like all the stuff you see, like far as like the shaker tent, like I took that with me to Tennessee. Like, everywhere I go, I take the stuff with me because I do it because I enjoy bartending. I enjoy making a drink. The issue is my family enjoys it too, and they think I'm about to be in the kitchen making drinks all night for everybody. So I'm gonna start putting a tip jar out.
Right.
Anyway, I digress. But so yeah, I haven't went to Boyd since I got home because quarantine happened, and then busy with getting the sperm together, and then going on a family trip. And then once I saw like how big I got during the family trip, I was like, oh, that's it. Like, time to get back on it. So since October 1st to now, I've been like hard on this journey to get back in shape. I have lost 40 pounds, so I'll take that. If I can lose another 40 by October, great. So now that I'm able to have candy, and not that I couldn't have candy before, like I'm not trying to say that's bad. Everything's in moderation, like you said.
Right.
I can't control myself.
Right.
And so I just didn't want to put myself in that situation. Like, I have a bag of Starburst in my cabinet right now, and it is calling my name. And it's only because I was babysitting Friday night with a couple kids from my daycare, and I took them to Five Below on the way home from work, and I let them pick I let them get a candy and a toy. And of course, you tell a kid they can get candy and a toy, they pick the biggest toy and the biggest, like, jumbo size, Costco size bag of candy.
Right.
And I'm like,
Smart.
right? And so, of course, because they got candy, I had to get some candy. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised it's not empty. I'm surprised I didn't eat it. I didn't get the big one. I just got a couple, like, a pack of Starburst. You know they have the duos, like 2 flavors in one?
No.
Ooh. I let you know.
Yeah. That sounds good.
But no, some guilty pleasure. Long story short, I am long-winded. My guilty pleasure is definitely candy.
For sure.
Candy and I would say peanuts, not peanuts, but potatoes.
Huh.
My sister makes fun of me because I love potatoes. Like, I don't care how it's cooked. I don't care if it's fried, scalloped, baked, mashed, like sweet potato. Like, I just love potatoes. And I was like, and in my head I was like, it's a vegetable. It's a vegetable. It's healthy. And I make fun of her because she loves rice. Like,
I love rice
she's
too.
a huge rice person. No, but you do cauliflower rice. I
All
mean,
the
she
time.
just does regular plain white
Mix
rice.
it though. Just try it. Just try and mix it.
I have some. I have cauliflower rice in my freezer right now. I bought when I was doing the 75 hard, and I was trying to be super healthy. And my personality is like all or nothing, and I need to level that out.
For sure.
Like, I swing too hard when I'm like going into something, whether I'm binging or when I'm committing. Like it's too much. So I need to find that healthy balance.
Well, that's good that you know that.
Yeah.
They always say, like, the first step is awareness.
Right? Yeah, so that's what I need to work on. Like, I just dive head into whatever I'm doing. And when it's into something positive, I'm like, oh, it's a good thing, but you can go, I mean, too much of anything is a bad thing. So that's when I went and I bought, like, the cauliflower mashed potatoes, the cauliflower rice. I do not like it. The cauliflower mashed potatoes.
Did you put butter in it and salt? And
It just tasted like cauliflower to me. And it tastes,
you have to do baby steps. Mix it together.
Yeah, and I know because that's what I did to get me onto almond milk.
Oh, perfect.
It took me a while to go from whole milk to skim, and I would mix it. And then when I started going from skim to almond, I mixed it.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I never even thought about applying that philosophy to the.
And it might take a while to do that too. But.
Take a while. I want my potatoes. I said 2 questions. That was
Okay.
a long last question. Last
Okay.
question. What does we'll ask that one. We already kind of talked about it. What does fun with fitness mean to you?
Oh, yeah, I feel like we talked about it. Exercise, fitness should be fun. It shouldn't feel like punishment. It shouldn't be something you're dreading doing. And yeah, you're not gonna like be super excited to work out every time you're ready to work out. And that's why you have things like that bring structure to your journey, right? Like setting appointments, having that community, having a coach, accountability system. But you have to remember, I talk to so many of my clients who will finish a workout and they're like, I feel so amazing, I feel so good. It was hard, but I pushed through and I feel good. And I always say like, okay, remember this feeling. Remember how you felt at the end of the workout, not at the beginning of the workout, right? Because you're not always gonna wanna go into the workout, but once you release those endorphins or you start seeing results and that starts to motivate you, that's the feeling you have to remember.
Good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I also understand that different strokes for different folks. Just because somebody loves to get their butt kicked in a HIIT or Tabata or a kickboxing class, and some people want to go to a calm, relaxing yoga class. And little known fact, yoga ain't always calm and relaxing. I done sweat up a lot in yoga.
It's hard.
That's hard, like them poses. But anyway, different strokes for different folks. You need to try a lot of different things and find out what you're into. Find out what's your jam. And it may change over time. And it may fluctuate one day. I thought I would never be into spin. And I really enjoy spin. I do spin a lot.
Right,
I'm looking at buying some spin shoes so I can do it more often.
And the same thing goes for nutrition too. Like you have to figure out what works for you. Is it a specific plan? Is it just meal prepping? I mean, I there's certain principles that I apply to my nutrition that I try to do consistently, that I found that works for me, but it might not work for everybody. So
Try new things.
right.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for this hopefully helpful and informative Cocktail with Kev segment. So I do plan to do these more often. I'm trying to get more people on the books. I know we have Jim going to be coming soon. So Jim's going to be in an interview. I know I have 2 more people I'm thinking about bringing to the couch. Seeing as this is like our setting,
yeah.
bringing to the couch. So other than that, guys, enjoy yourselves. Make sure you have fun with fitness, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.